All right, Gulf Coast independent wrestling fans, we're continuing our conversation here with Ultimate Wrestling X Factor champion Brutal Joe Gibson as we're asking him questions about his career, thoughts about Ultimate Wrestling, any other sorts of crazy-ass bullshit we feel like asking him. But I have a question I want to ask that's just been burning in my feeble little drunken mind since I've been here. Your infamous hardcore match with my mortal enemy, Cheeto Galento, his last match in Ultimate Wrestling. I got him to smile, yes!
I can't believe you remember, man.
Oh, yes, I remember.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that piece of garbage up.
Shit, there we go.
Because now he's posing as some nickel transvestite on the message boards.
Nickel?
You're not fooling anybody, Fabian. And you want to sit there, and I want this opportunity to say to this piece of garbage, you want to sit there and have the gall to sit and say that I play with myself and mess up my keyboard while I look at pictures of you. I'm sorry, you know what? I'd rather look at a picture of Brian Cage and play with myself before I'll even have the opportunity to look at your disgusting ass and claim any sort of beauty ever came out of you. You have something you want to say, whether it's work or shoot, brother. You know where I'm at. I'm not a set of car keys. You're not going to lose me, son. You know exactly where I'm at. You want a shot? All you got to do is call Dion up and I'll slap the makeup right off of your skin.
Woo!
Doesn't matter.
The brutal truth again.
With Brutal Joe. Because I remember he was talking so much shit on the message boards, how he was going to beat your ass and all that, and all he did was roll over, and basically you just kicked him like a dog laying there on his back, flopping, and he didn't even put up any resistance, all that yeah about what he was going to do to Joe Gibson, and that was his final match.
You know, and I'm not even going to give him the pleasure of calling him a Galento. You're not Gino Galento. You're not Wendy Galento. You're Fabian Ripoff Billy Graham is what you are. Because you're nothing more than somebody who works out in a gym and claims the fact that he can take 3 poor bumps and call himself a wrestler. You're clumsy. You don't belong in the ring. If you think you have something you want to say, you know where I'm at. I have no problems with getting in the ring with you. And this time, I won't be professional about it. I won't try to make it look like I can make you look good. You want to slug it out like men? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I'm shooting from the hip. I'm playing cowboy right now. I've had enough. It's people like you, Fabian, as well as a handful of others that are making our area, our little armpit of the area here in the country, look like a complete joke in indie wrestling. They look at you while coming, they're like, ooh, look at me, I'm Wendy, no, screw you. You're nobody. You've always been nobody and you'll always be nobody. You don't believe me? Ask your wife.
Oh! Once again, brutal truth with
That was the knockout punch. Wow.
Biff, pow, socko,
Well,
man.
let me ask this question.
Moving along. Let's segue to something else.
All right,
He's a phenomenal wrestler.
Damn, you're telling 2 lies in one night, Joe.
Well, let me ask you this. You've had plenty of memorable matches at Ultimate Wrestling. What would you say either was your toughest match or your most memorable match?
Cheeto.
No. There's been a lot of other really good ones I would mention
I know
before that one.
Yes, this is true. I just couldn't resist.
God, put me on the spot like this. There's so many, to be honest. I mean,
Right.
and I'm gonna be real for a second. As far as like anybody that I've gotten in the ring with and just felt like it was just like magic from bell to bell.
And before you get going, Alexander Hurst III, I'd pay to see Brutal Joe beat Cheeto's ass. Sorry to cut you off, Joe.
I'd pay for it too.
Hell yeah, we'll all pay for it.
But anytime I'm in the ring with these guys, I honestly feel like it's match of the night, no matter what. And I know I say what I say about them, you know, and on the personal level or whatever. But Cameron Frost and Colby Godwin are probably 2 guys that I can honestly say, if it's on a card and I look on there and I see that I'm against those guys, I know that we're going to leave it all in the ring. We mesh well as far as our abilities, and to tell you the truth, the question you were asking earlier about me making more of a hybrid style, and to be able to, you know, mesh all these different styles of wrestling together, it's because when you get in there with guys like Colby and you get in there with guys like Cameron, they're one-of-a-kind guys.
Right.
So you have to be able to bring a little extra something, or at least be able to match the element that they're used to wrestling in. And any match I have with those guys is probably my favorite or most memorable.
Awesome. Let me ask
Sweet.
you one more quick question. We've had some speculation on this after a while. You know, you've had 5, I believe it's 5, awesome matches with BTY Colby Godwin. What is the count on that match? This has been debated all over the place. Wherever we go, other promotions it's talked about. What is the count of that series?
Has it been 5 already?
I think it's been 5.
I think actually BTY just actually upset the. I think he's got one up on me then.
Really? I didn't see. We've been asking around trying to find somebody who knows, and who better to ask than the man that was there.
I think going into our match at Milestone, we were even, and guys have their days, and Colby had his day.
Right.
I believe you wrestled, 3 times in Ultimate, once in CSW, and once in New Heights, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And I have been privileged enough to witness all those matches, and can honestly say...
I think we're even now that you mentioned that, because we had those matches. I think we were at 5 going into this, because we wrestled in AWF and Loxley.
Oh,
There
okay,
you go.
okay,
And
okay.
that's where I snuck another win out on them, was because of that. And from that point on, I think we were even. And when Colby beat me, now I think we're tied. As a matter of fact, now that you brought that up, it just hit me. I remember that we actually wrestled a match at the Doink show over there, the Dork show over in AWF, and I think going into this, I think part of my bragging thing was the fact I think I had the upper hand going into that, and Colby.
Right, now it's all tied up.
Colby even the score, so we'll never know with him going up to Philly. You
Right.
know.
Well, there you have it, fans. Now you know the official count. Tied up.
Nonetheless, 6 awesome matches between
Yeah.
2 of the young studs on the Gulf Coast independent wrestling circuit with Brutal Joe.
I remember you
and
were injured during
BTY.
one of those matches. weren't
Yes,
you?
he was.
Yeah.
And with the arm, I believe it was the first time BTY came back to wrestle you in Ultimate, where you hurt your arm.
I
And
hurt my arm, and when I defended the heavyweight title against him, I wrestled him with 103 fever and still beat him.
Wow. Well, I think we're running out of time, but we want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming on the show. You're only the 2nd champion we've ever had on Front Row Fanatics, but we do appreciate your expertise, lending your opinions, and come back anytime you like.
Will do.
any shout outs, fuck offs, piss offs you want to say to anybody before we go?
Fabian. You know where I'm at, buddy.
Gotta love it. With that being said, we'll see you in the front row.
Holy shit.